Welcome back to the channel. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. We're going out the country tomorrow, so I need y'all to be in tune with my YouTube while I'm out the country, all right? I will be posting, but I need y'all to spam every single time I post. This video is called NBA Arenas That Were a Disaster, but fans loved them anyway. Make sure y'all like the video up.
NBA Arenas.
Shout out to TFC Stadiums. We always rock with SYM Stadiums, but TFC has been another channel that we've came across. Very informative. We've already reacted to a video of theirs, the New York Knicks, comparing them to the EuroLeague fans. Let's check this one out.
The conversation usually goes straight to the best ones.
Yep.
Madison Square Garden, the old Chicago Stadium, Oracle Arena during the Warriors dynasty, Boston Garden.
That one looked crazy. Oracle looked wild.
Stadium, Oracle Arena.
That looks OD, doesn't it? That should look crazy, huh? Yeah, that's fine.
During the Warriors dynasty, Boston Garden, and a few others that just felt bigger than the building itself.
Facts.
But the NBA has also had some very strange homes over the years.
Intuit is crazy too.
Some were too small. Some were built for football and then awkwardly forced into basketball.
Sheesh.
Some had terrible sightlines, bad locations,
yeah,
weak amenities, or designs that aged almost immediately.
We're gonna see what he's talking about.
A few were not exactly terrible in the moment, but looking back, it is hard to believe an NBA team played there full time.
Yeah, facts.
So today, we're looking at some of the worst NBA arenas of all time. And to be clear, worst does not always mean the fans were bad or the team had no history there.
Yeah,
a few of these buildings hosted great players, playoff runs.
A lot of these arenas hosted great players. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all just heard that?
Bruh.
Why did my shit just tweak out? Nah, but a lot of these arenas that he's saying were bad NBA arenas, they had some really good players, no doubt.
Even championships.
Yep.
But as basketball arenas, they had real problems. Some were outdated, some were uncomfortable, and some were just never right for the NBA in the first place.
The bubble.
A good place to start is the Kingdome in Seattle.
Okay.
The Seattle Supersonics had a complicated arena history, and the Kingdome might be one of the weirdest chapters. This was not a basketball arena. It was a massive, concrete, multi-purpose stadium, best known as the home of the Seattle Seahawks and Seattle Mariners.
Facts.
But from 1978 to 1985, the Sonics played there as their main home. On paper, there were reasons for the move.
Sheesh.
The Kingdome had more seats, more revenue.
Hey, he was flying, wasn't he?
On paper,
nah, he was flying. That's an OD picture right there. Yeah, you're out for eternity. Yeah, no kizzy. You will never get off of out for. Somebody give me the name of that kid that's in the street. Yeah, he's a grown man, but right now he's a kid. Yeah, little body.
The Kingdome had more seats, more revenue potential, and it gave the Sonics access to a much larger venue than Seattle Center Coliseum.
Yeah.
But basketball inside a giant domed football and baseball stadium was always going to feel strange.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
The court sat in this huge space that was never designed around the intimacy.
Yeah, that looks wild. I see what you're talking about now. You just putting a basketball court on one side of this big ass stadium. It looks awkward. Yeah, it looks very weird. Let's keep going though.
Feel strange.
Yeah.
The court sat in this huge space that was never designed around the intimacy of basketball.
That's wild.
The lower sections could still create noise, and Seattle fans absolutely had moments where they made the building work.
Yeah.
The Sonics even won the 1979 NBA championship during this era.
That's
so the Kingdome cannot be dismissed as some meaningless stop in team history.
Yeah, that's tough.
But as an arena experience, it was awkward. The scale was wrong. The sightlines were not built for the sport. Basketball is supposed.
That just looks nasty, doesn't it? That looks ass.
Feel close,
I'm be real,
and compressed. The Kingdome made it feel like the game was happening in the middle of a warehouse.
Yeah, facts.
That is the problem with many of these old multi-purpose experiments.
That looks nasty.
A giant dome can handle basketball, technically, but handling basketball and being good for basketball.
They showed this picture twice. Yeah, get that kid out the street. Get his
Basketball
ass
are
out the
two
way.
Completely different things. Another example is the Pontiac Silverdome,
Especially if he
which
made
served as the Detroit Pistons' home from 1978 to 1988. The Silverdome was enormous. It was built for football, with more than 80,000 seats. And when the Pistons moved in, they were essentially trying to make NBA basketball work inside a stadium meant for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
The Pistons had some big moments there, including the rise of the Bad Boys era.
Facts.
And the building could pull in massive crowds for major games.
That's really why the Bad Boys era started. They needed to fill up all them damn seats.
For a standard NBA
They need to fill up all them
Silverdome was
seats.
simply too large. That is the main issue. NBA arenas need scale.
Yeah. I see exactly what the title means now. It's like they're making some shit just work for the situation, and I feel it. You feel me?
The crowd stacked around the
but like still
the
like
Silverdome could look impressive when packed, but on ordinary nights, it could also feel distant.
That's wild.
Even with strong attendance, a basketball court inside a football dome can look oddly small.
Like, look at the background. Like, that shit just looks crazy. But even then, just like how they said, if it's a packed game, okay, you're going to feel the intensity. If it's not, and it's a team coming in town that's not that good, and you don't have a lot of people playing, I mean, you have some injuries, not a lot of people playing, not a lot of people show up to the arena.
Bruh. The Pistons
atmosphere gonna be ass.
To the Palace of Auburn Hills in 1988.
Yeah.
And that move made sense.
Facts.
The Palace was built for basketball and hockey.
Yeah.
It had suites, better revenue options, and a bowl that actually fit the sport.
Yeah.
The Silverdome was important to Pistons history, but it was never the ideal NBA building. Then there is the Alamodome in San Antonio. Now, this one is interesting because the Spurs were very successful there.
Yeah.
The team played at the Alamodome from 1993 to 2002.
Okay.
And their first NBA championship in 1999 happened while the building was their home. So calling it one of the worst NBA arenas might sound strange.
Facts.
But again, this is about the building as a basketball venue. The Alamodome was built as a large domed stadium, not a purpose-built NBA arena.
Like, look how many extra seats they gonna have. Like,
for most Spurs games, the upper level was curtained off,
which
already tells the story. When a building needs a giant curtain to make it feel less empty, that is not exactly a perfect basketball setup.
Yeah, facts.
For big games, the Spurs could open more seating and create massive crowds. During the 1999 NBA Finals, the Alamodome had huge attendance numbers.
Yeah, for sure.
But for a normal regular season game, the building was too wide, too open, and too far removed from the compact intensity that makes NBA arenas work.
This is going to be one of my last times pausing it, but I do feel like if you're hosting the NBA Finals, or if your team is in the NBA Finals and you have a football stadium, it could work in your favor in the sense of more people coming to the game. Tickets probably or hopefully being cheaper than just regular priced NBA Finals tickets, but you can definitely have more people in the stands. That's the good thing about it. The bad thing is it just doesn't feel right.
The Spurs eventually moved into what is now Frost Bank Center in 2002.
Facts.
That move gave the franchise a more traditional NBA home, and it also showed why the Alamodome was always a temporary compromise.
Yeah, for sure.
It was useful, it was memorable, it produced a championship season.
Facts.
But as a nightly NBA arena, it was not ideal. A different type of problem existed at the Charlotte Coliseum, the original home of the Charlotte Hornets.
Fact.
The Coliseum opened in 1988.
Sheesh.
And at first, it looked like a huge success. The Hornets were new, the colors were fresh, the city was excited, and the Hive became one of the loudest and most packed buildings in the league. In the early years, Charlotte attendance was incredible, but the building had a major long-term flaw.
Yeah.
It was too big and too limited at the same time.
With nearly 24,000 seats for basketball, the Charlotte Coliseum was the largest basketball-specific arena in the NBA.
Okay.
That sounds impressive.
Yeah, fact.
But it also created problems. When the team was hot and the city was fully behind it, the size worked.
Yeah.
When the relationship between fans and ownership started to fall apart, the building became harder to fill and much harder to modernize.
Okay.
Even worse, the Coliseum lacked the premium amenities that NBA arenas were quickly starting to prioritize. Luxury suites, club seating, upgraded concourses, and corporate spaces became essential to arena economics in the 1990s.
So that makes sense.
A massive arena.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense.
But not one that aged well in the business model that was coming. The strangest part is how quickly it became obsolete. The building opened in 1988 and was replaced for NBA use by 2005.
Sheesh.
That is a very short life for a major pro sports venue.
That's crazy.
It was not a total disaster because it had real atmosphere during the early Hornets years.
And that's what's good about it. They had atmospheres that was dope. It was a lot of hype that was going into the stadium. It was a lot of support that was around the stadium and a lot of fans that was showing up. But just like how he said it was so big yet so limited, that makes a lot of sense because sometimes you don't think about the suites, you don't think about all the other amenities that a lot of stadiums have right now that are either underground or that are hidden, stuff like that. So that makes a lot of sense.
But it was a building designed for one version of the NBA, right before the league changed. Another arena that aged badly was the Omni in Atlanta.
Yeah.
The Omni Coliseum opened in 1972 and was home to the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay.
It had a distinctive look with its weathering steel
That looks kind of crazy.
and unusual roof design. In a way, it was visually interesting. It did not look like a boring box.
Yeah.
But the design became part of the problem. The exterior used Cor-10 steel, which was supposed to weather and form a protective layer.
Uh-huh.
In Atlanta's humid climate, that did not exactly go as planned. The building developed serious corrosion issues, and the roof had leaking problems. By the 1990s, the arena was outdated, rusting, and no longer suitable for where the league was heading.
Man.
The Omni also lacked the modern revenue features teams wanted. Like several arenas from that era, it simply did not have enough luxury suites and premium spaces.
Okay.
The Hawks needed a better building.
Makes sense.
The city eventually moved on. The Omni was demolished in 1997 and replaced by what is now State Farm Arena.
Yeah,
what makes the Omni stand out is how fast the future caught up to it. It had personality, and people still remember it.
Yeah.
But it also became a case study in how experimental design can fail when the local climate and long-term maintenance realities are not fully understood.
Understandable. I like how he's breaking it down though, because that makes a lot of sense. A lot of the stuff that he's saying can go unnoticed, whether it be corrosion, whether it be leaks, whether it just be like the stadium, how it was built and the structure, how that can be affected throughout years of just being up and being in use. So
the Capitol
I feel it.
in Landover, Maryland also deserves a place here. The Washington Bullets played there after leaving Baltimore, and the building opened in the early 1970s as a major suburban arena. It hosted the Bullets, the Washington Capitals, concerts, and plenty of big events.
That's dope.
For its time, it was a significant venue. But over the years, the Capitol Center became a classic example of the suburban arena problem. It was outside the city, surrounded by parking, and it never had the urban energy that later downtown arenas tried to capture. The building itself aged into that old concrete and concourse feel that many 1970s arenas had. Functional, yes.
Yeah.
Charming, maybe in certain memories.
Not really.
But not exactly a top-tier NBA experience. The Bullets eventually moved into the downtown arena, now known as Capital One Arena, in 1997.
Yeah.
And that move completely changed the team's location and identity. It brought NBA basketball back into the city, closer to transit, restaurants, and the urban crowd flow that modern
Capital One.
The Capitol Center was not the worst arena ever built. It did its job for many years, but by the time Washington left, it felt like the NBA had outgrown it. Then there is the Meadowlands Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Yeah.
This building had several names: Brendan Byrne Arena, Continental Airlines Arena, and later Izod Center. For the New Jersey Nets, it was home from 1981 to 2010. And for a franchise trying to build a strong identity, the building did not help much. The biggest issue was location and atmosphere.
Why he just say it so sarcastically? Like, it helps a little bit, my guy. Not at all. It's insane.
The Meadowlands Sports Complex was designed around cars, parking lots, highways, and big event traffic.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Better for football.
Yeah,
for
facts.
41 NBA home games.
Facts.
For basketball, it could feel isolated. The arena was large, gray, and often described as cold or dull. When the Nets were good in the early 2000s with Jason Kidd, the building had moments. But even then, it rarely felt like one of the league's special environments. The Nets eventually moved to Newark's Prudential Center for a short period, then to Brooklyn's Barclays Center in 2012.
Barclays is fire.
The move to Brooklyn completely changed the franchise's market presence.
Yeah, facts.
The Meadowlands building, meanwhile, closed as a major arena in 2015, and later found use in other ways, including as a production space. As an NBA home, it was never a natural fit. It was big, suburban, and often lacking the energy that basketball needs.
Yeah, you can see
Another
that.
building that belongs in this conversation is Arco Arena,
Arena.
later known as Sleep Train Arena in Sacramento.
Okay.
This one is tricky because Sacramento fans were outstanding. At its peak, Arco was one of the loudest buildings in the NBA. During the early 2000s Kings era, that arena had real life. Cowbells, playoff noise, sellout crowds. The fans made it work, but the building itself was limited. It opened in 1988, and compared with modern NBA venues, it was small, basic, and short on premium amenities.
That's why
it had a reputation as a loud bomb.
That's why I do these kind of videos, because I didn't even know that. I really didn't know that at all whatsoever. I mean, I feel like I knew that a little bit, but didn't really have too much information on it.
Which could be a compliment for atmosphere, but not for long-term arena quality.
Okay.
Concourses, suites, club spaces, and overall infrastructure became outdated as the league moved deeper into the luxury seat era.
Got you.
The Kings spent years trying to solve their arena issue, and the future of the team in Sacramento became a serious question. Eventually, Golden One Center opened in 2016 and gave the Kings a modern downtown arena.
That's dope.
Move also proved what had been obvious for years.
Yeah, fact.
Arco had great memories, but the team needed something much better. So Arco is not on this list because the fans were bad. It is here because the building was carried by the fans for a long time.
Yeah.
The Tacoma Dome is another strange Sonics chapter. During the 1994-95 season, while Seattle Center Coliseum was being renovated into Key Arena,
Yep.
the Supersonics played their home games at the Tacoma Dome. The team was very good, winning 57 games that season, but the venue was a temporary workaround. The Tacoma Dome is a large, multi-purpose dome, and while it can host basketball, it was not a natural NBA arena. The team was away from Seattle, playing in a building that was never meant to be a permanent NBA home.
Yeah.
For a one-year solution, it was understandable. As an all-time arena experience, it was awkward. There are fans who remember that season fondly, and that is fair.
Yeah.
Temporary buildings can still have character. But when we are talking about the worst NBA arenas ever used, a displaced NBA team playing in a dome outside its main city has to be mentioned. And finally,
Facts.
we should talk about Hemisphere Arena, the Spurs' home before the Alamo Dome. Hemisphere Arena opened in the late 1960s and became the Spurs' home during their ABA years and into the NBA.
Yeah.
It had history, and it was tied to the early identity of the franchise. But by the time the Spurs left in 1993, it was badly outdated. The building was small by later NBA standards, and it lacked the revenue-generating features teams were chasing. It also had the older arena feel, cramped, limited, and not built for the modern entertainment business.
Yeah.
The Spurs moved to the Alamo Dome because they needed more space and more revenue opportunities.
That makes sense.
Even though the Alamo Dome came with its own problems as a basketball venue. That is what makes San Antonio's arena history so interesting. Hemisphere was too old and limited. The Alamo Dome was too big and awkward.
Yeah.
The Spurs did not really get the right NBA building until 2002.
Yep.
Looking across all of these arenas, there is a clear pattern. The worst NBA arenas were usually not bad because nobody cared.
Yeah.
In fact, some of them had amazing fans. Sacramento at Arco, Charlotte in the early Hornets years, Seattle in the Sonics era, and San Antonio during the Spurs' rise all had real basketball culture. The problem was the buildings. Arenas need to fit the sport. They need the right size,
Fact.
the right sight lines, the right acoustics, the right location, and the right revenue structure. When a venue is too big, the court feels lost. When it is too old, the team falls behind financially.
Yeah.
When it is in the wrong location, the nightly atmosphere suffers. And when it is built around another sport, basketball often feels like a temporary guest. The NBA has changed a lot since the 1970s, 80s, and 90s.
Yeah.
Modern arenas are not just places to put a court. They are entertainment districts, premium seating machines, broadcast stages, food halls, sponsorship platforms, and team identity centers. That shift made many older buildings obsolete faster than expected.
Yeah.
Some of these arenas are gone. Some were demolished. Some were replaced by modern downtown buildings, and a few survive in completely different forms. But they all tell part of the same story. the NBA learned the hard way that basketball needs the right room.
I'm going to let the video finish, but at the end of the day, I really didn't know if I was going to understand what he was saying before this video started. But now I completely understand what he's talking about. I completely get what he's saying by the NBA, and just basketball in general needs the right arenas to play in. We've seen a bunch of examples that he gave us about the right arenas. Can't play in a football stadium and just put the basketball on just like the half court or just on one side of the whole football stadium. It doesn't feel right. Arena can't be limited of resources. Can't be limited of resources. Can't be limited of suites. Can't be limited of those hidden rooms or hidden parts where it's more exclusivity to others versus just the regular fans. The arena can't be old. It can't be no corrosion. It can't be no mold, no dust, no none of that. It has to be up to date. So all these examples that he gave us in this video are very, very understandable. And now I get and I understand why some of these arenas no longer exist versus the arena still existing, but the teams just don't play there anymore.
A football dome can host an NBA game. A giant suburban arena can technically hold 20,000 people.
Yeah.
An old building can still produce memories, but over an 82-game season, with fans paying modern prices and teams chasing modern revenue,
facts,
the flaws start to show.
Exactly.
And that is why the worst NBA arenas of all time are not always the ones with the worst teams. Sometimes they are the ones where the building simply never matched the game.
The building, sometimes it has nothing to do with the fans, with the supporters, with the teams, with the organization, none of that. Sometimes it just is the arena.
And that's our video today. Let me know your thoughts and feedback down below. And we'll see you next time on TFC Stadiums.
Hey, TFC, you be doing your shit with these videos, my guy. I ain't gonna cap to you. You be doing your shit. We appreciate you for letting us watch your videos and react to your videos and get the information that we do get out of them. Keep being informative, bro. We're going to keep showing love and support. Make sure y'all go subscribe to TFC Stadiums. He has 272,000 subs. So make sure we keep helping him reach his goals and we keep reaching our goals. All right. I'll see y'all very, very soon. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all keep running this shit up.